Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I feel that I need to do this because there are people in this world that like to defend video games with bugs. And there should be no reason whatsoever on why you're defending a video game with obvious bugs that if most people, like let's say it was the same audience of people that are waiting for Grand Theft Auto 6, do you think that they're going to understand a bug that's not in most video games? So, for an example, today, overall, that's the main reason on why I'm even doing this episode in the first place, but I mean, I ain't seen it before with other video games I haven't played where people are trying to defend games for having bugs, and I'm like, fam, that's not normal. I'm like, if you look back 20-something years ago, I was just talking about this. If you look back 20-something years ago, the thing was this. Games were fully developed and they didn't have no bugs. And I was in a point in time when I feel like video game development probably was a lot harder, especially for somebody that's just now getting into it. Now I feel like anybody can create a video game. But my question is how does a video game in this day and age that's made by popular people, or it has a pricey price tag, and it has bugs? Like, there's the one game that I'm playing today. It's this, it's kind of like Battleship almost. But anyways, it's this game called Sea Power. Great game. I honestly enjoyed it. But there was a bug in that game that overall, yeah, I told myself, it's either I keep this game and deal with that bug, and then it's like I never get to be able to enjoy a game, or I get my money back and I get a game that's like, okay, I know that bugs like that is not going to exist in another game. But anyways, so they have it where my ships are out in the middle of the sea. I'm shooting at all these different targets, and then the one set of targets were on land. So I'm just, shooting. There's like some fuel tanks. There are some like anti-aircraft like tanks, I think. What else did they have? They just overall had like a lot of different enemies that I had to take out and stuff. So eventually I took out everybody. Now one would think that, okay, there's literally no other enemies on the screen. Like everything is just pretty much like grayed out and stuff. And it was before it was red. And so now it's grayed out, meaning that I took out everybody and things. Now they have invisible enemies where you can literally zoom in on the area where the gunshots, or not gunshots, but the missiles are coming from, and you can't even see them. And I'm over here thinking to myself, fam, since when in any given war, okay, World War I, World War II, the Cold War, I'm trying to think of some other wars, you know, the Iraq War, Afghanistan, like them wars. I'm trying to think of some other wars. It doesn't matter which war you throw out in front of me. There has never been a time where any military branch or whoever had invisible people just shooting going around. Because if that was the case, I'm like, fam, if we got invisible like militaries where it's just there, you can't see them, we're winning every single war. Every single war. There's no reason for us to be, like over here fighting wars if we got invisible militaries and things. But do you see how silly that sounds? So anyways, I say that and I'm like, okay, so overall, like I'm streaming this. So I noticed that it was just coming from grass, and I'm thinking to myself, like, fam, what is this? No, I'm not gonna fool with that. That's weird. And the guy talking about, the one dude, because he came into my stream just straight backseating, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, I imagine, you can, overall, about this video game, you know how to read, you would have seen the rules in my stream saying, do not backseat. But it just seems like people just bypass that crap, and they're like, nah, I want a backseat. And I'm like, okay, if you want to play this game, start this game up, play it on your own time. You come into my stream, do not backseat. Point blank simple. That's it. It's simple English that's in my rules. So if you don't understand it, then translate it to whatever language you need to understand it for. But overall though, it's like, fam, my thing is this. I do not need help. So people, stop doing that crap. It's like, man, you would think that, okay, with the amount of video games that I played, like, all right, so I know there ain't gonna be nobody backseating on this game. I know anybody. Just seems like it don't matter what game it is, there's always gonna be that one person that just wants to join your stream and backseat and tell you how to play the game. And it's like, fam, am I playing a game or are you playing a game? All right, ask yourself that question before you just start going into people's streams backseating and stuff. But he's trying to defend it, talking about, oh, that's the the fog of War or something. And I'm like, fam, you name a war where there's been invisible enemies. There's no defense for that. There's no defense for that at all. So that's why I'm like, fam, people, you guys gotta honestly realize when a game like that's on the developers. That's not on me. And I'm thinking to myself, I done played so many different war games. I'm saying I done played 6 Days in Fallujah, most of the Call of Duties, most of the Battlefields. I'm trying to think, Squad. What are some other military games? I done played a lot of military games. Even like these, RTS or strategy type military games. Never once did they have it, because the one game that I had just recently played, it was this game called War No. And I'm like, yeah, now after playing that Sea Power game, I'm like, yeah, maybe I should give Warno another chance, because I'm like, yeah, that Sea Power game, I'm like, yeah, y'all ain't powering the game. I'm like, you powering your pockets by, having a pricey, because I think that game is like $49. Hold on for a second. Let me look up that game real quick. Yeah, Sea Power, Naval Combat, and a Missile Age. I'm like, you guys got that long title, and you doing all this other extra stuff, but $49.99 for that game. And it's like, and you guys over here having invisible enemies. Yeah, I gave that game a bad review. I'm like, I could care less how people feel about it, because to me that just don't. And 2 people found a review funny, because I'm like, my thing is this: I hope a lot of people see that review, and overall it prevents them from buying that game, because I'm like, that's not normal. That's not normal to be out here having invisible enemies. And then the guy was like, oh, well, you can go into the settings and disable it. Why is it even a thing in the first place? My thing is this, right? If you're using a radar system, because I imagine that's what most militaries are going to use. And so if you see somebody, or if you see, gunfire coming at you from a certain area, you're going to have some eyes in the skies, or you're going to have something that overall shows like, oh, hey, like this is where them gunshots is coming from and stuff. Now, I think the game is supposed to take place. Yeah, I think it's a Cold War based game. But overall, though, I'm like, fam, maybe, I don't know, have like some modern warships in the game where it has some proper radar systems so I can see where the gunshots is coming from. But I'm like, fam, if you over here got invisible enemies and I'm literally looking at the area, and that's how it happened. So there's this like thing that I started zooming in on. I'm thinking the gunshots was coming from there, because that was the only thing in that area. I zoom in, I'm still hearing the gunshots go off, and I'm like, where the missiles being lunged off up in the air and stuff. And I'm like, okay, so it ain't this thing. Then I do a 180, look, it's coming from the grass. And I'm thinking to myself, fam, that's not normal. That's not normal at all. I played a few of these strategy type games, and I'm like, there's the one called Call to Arms. Then like the other one I said, War No. Let's see if there's some other RTS type games I done played and stuff. Manor Lords, I'm like, I played a little bit of that. And, that game ain't had at least from what I remember, it ain't have no invisible enemies and stuff. But, yeah, let's see where some other ones. Sea Power, that being the latest one. But, yeah, I feel like I done played quite a few games where I'm like, unless somebody done modified or done hacked the game, that's the only reason why a game will have invisible enemies. But other than that, it's like, if this is just me, and that's the thing, I'm playing offline. It's a single player game. So that's why I'm like, fam, how am I supposed to look at that and be like, yeah, that's normal? That's not normal. So that's what I'm saying. People be out there trying to defend. I'm like, that's a bug, bro. That's a full-blown bug. And I'm like, and that's why they probably have some stuff like that in the settings, because they knew that was going to be a bug in the game. And I'm like, no, you guys need to come out with an update or a patch to fix that, where it's like all enemies is visible, not just some, and I gotta, hover over or stay in that area for however. And that's like, they don't give you a time of how long you guys stay in that area. Like, that was a game, that Sea Power game. They have a thing where you could do tutorials, and then when you click on it, it ain't even like missions that you can play. It's videos that you can watch, and that's honestly starting to annoy me. It's like, fam, am I playing a video game or am I watching YouTube videos? Because I'm like, maybe what you guys should be doing is having it where them YouTube videos pop up first on your guys' description page or whatever. So at least then I'm like, okay, I could click on these videos, watch them, get an understanding, then buy your guys' game. I gotta buy your guys' game, watch these videos, and I guarantee and I promise you, each of those videos, they're gonna be some lengthy videos. I mean, maybe they're not, but overall though, my thing is this. That's something that should be shown before I buy the video game, not after the fact. So that's why I'm like, yeah, I'm tired of doing stuff like if a video game requires me to watch YouTube videos to play it, I ain't even gonna fool with that game because I'm like, nah, bruh. I'm like, you guys shouldn't be making your video game crazy difficult, knowing that people are gonna be interested in it and stuff. And so yeah, that's why I'm like, I ain't even gonna fool with it. I'll fool with another ship-based game and things because I'm pretty sure there's some other ones out there that I can check out. But yeah, that game I was like, nah, I'm gonna leave that game alone because I'm like that game C Power it got issues. But overall though, like other video games I can think of where there was like people were trying to defend the bugs in it, and I'm like, are you guys playing the same game? But no, Star Citizen. I'm like, that's a video game where I'm like, okay, yeah, that game. If you say that game, that's a fully developed, no bug game, I'm like, you are definitely playing a different video game. But anyways, so there's the one bug that I had recently came across where I was just flying my spaceship off to a mission objective and my spaceship blew up. Just randomly blew up. And I see that they have a self-destruct button. I didn't know that until after the fact. And so I was like, I didn't even press that button. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. It's like, how does a spaceship just blow up like that? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I did not press that button at any given time. And I'm over here trying to figure out why is my spaceship just randomly blowing up? And there were some people that acknowledged it. They was like, oh yeah, that's a known bug in the game. Why though? Like, I'm saying, like, that's something where I'm like, no, to the developers behind Star Citizen, I mean, you guys need to be coming out with some updates, bruh. Because I'm like, I ain't had this game for a month now, and I think I've only seen, maybe one update for that game. And that's like it's like a public test server thing. And I'm like, no, you guys need to be coming out with updates literally every week. Every week. There should be no excuses on why you guys aren't coming out with updates for your game. So, yeah, that's something I'm like, you guys gonna have to work on that. But, no, people were trying to defend that. They were all like, one person commented, I'm like, yeah, something's wrong with that guy. I'm like, you're either trolling or something's mentally wrong with you. And I mean, like, you need to seek some sort of medical attention for your brain. But he goes in comments talking about skill issue. How is that a skill issue? That's like telling somebody their car just abruptly caught on fire just for no random reason, or for any old random reason, their car just randomly caught on fire, blows up on the middle of the freeway, so you gonna look that person in the face and tell them they don't know how to drive? And their car is just, there's like, they don't blame, let's say it's, Volkswagen or something. Like, don't blame Volkswagen, blame the person that bought the car. Yeah, because that makes a whole lot of sense. They were aware that their car is just going to blow up at some point in time. Well, they're the dumb ones. Yeah, it's like, they should have known that their car was going to blow up at some point in time. Nobody's expecting their car to just randomly blow up, catch on fire, just have and that's something that I hear where people's cars, they'll do some old crazy crap like that, and it'll be them cars that be getting recalled and stuff. So I'm like, you gonna tell them people that when their cars get recalled, oh, that it's not on the person that created the car, it's on the buyer. They ain't got their driver's license, they don't know how to drive because their car blew up. See, and that's what I'm like, at times I'm like, yeah, there's just people that just say some, I think it's like they either say dumb things on purpose just so they can mess with people, or it's like they're genuinely dumb. And I'm like, that's something where I'm like, fam, you shouldn't be on the internet. If you're like that, I'm saying, like, if you are like legally dumb, you should not, my thing is this, you should not be on the internet. Like, you need to take a test and just overall answer some questions, so at least then it's like, okay, it makes sense. Or like YouTube, no, that should be a thing. YouTube, Twitch, I'm trying to think, TikTok, places where it's like, I ain't seen where people be trying to defend a video game and they be glitching out and acting weird and crap. I'm like, no, there needs to be a thing next to their name saying like, yes, I am legally dumb. So that means that I'll say some stuff and then it's like, you're gonna question it and be all like, what's wrong with this person? Because I be asking that at times. I'm trying to think, I feel like there's been some other games I done played where people, because I'm trying to think, what was another game I feel like people were coming after me, and I was just trying to pass out an idea because I'm like, okay, well, obviously the game got issues, but I feel like it was something else besides Star Citizen. But even, just talking on Star Citizen, I'm like, yeah, that's a game where I'm like, I think that it would be better if it did have an offline mode for the universal mode or something where it's like they got you traveling around doing stuff. Because I'm like, the game, I'm like, it's already buggy when you're on a online server. So I'm like, fam, and that's something where I'm like, yeah, the game is buggy too offline, but I'm like, my thing, it's not as buggy. Like, I played that game offline and I was like, wow, like, the game actually runs a little bit smoother and things. Like, yeah, it's, it can be buggy at times, but I'm like, it's not as buggy when you get into one of them online servers. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, people be trying to defend that stuff, and I'm like, there ain't no defense for it, bruh. I'm like, that game is buggy. So I'm like, stop trying to defend a video game that's buggy. There ain't no defense for it, but... Anyways, yeah, you just got people out there where it's like, yeah, like I said, I'm gonna start saying that. I'm like, nah, you got some people out there that are illegally dumb. Like, they gotta sign, like, paperwork to actually, so at least then it's like, if I'm having a conversation with them and then they show me, like, a card or something like, hey, I'm legally dumb. I'm like, oh, okay, then I'm just gonna ignore you. You can go ahead and go on about your business, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and ignore you and stuff, because you just out here saying some old silly things, but... Anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. And peace.